Once, on a family day out, I got the jitters and had to flee an owl sanctuary.
Please, team.
What gave you the jitters?
I'd been asked to have a photograph of me taken holding an owl.
Right.
Oh.
Where was this?
In Cornwall. I'm on holiday.
With your family?
Yes.
Oh, it was recently?
Yes.
Oh, I think you meant as a child with your parents. As a fully grown man.
As a fully grown man.
You got the jitters.
Adult man, I got the jitters.
And because you thought the owl might be a bit terrifying.
Yeah.
David, can I say that if you were my partner and we were at an owl sanctuary and you got the jitters and fled, you'd be toast, mate. I simply would have no respect for you at all.
What you have to remember, Anna, is that there's a long journey that leads to someone choosing to marry a person like me. And part of that journey is learning to cope with a person like me.
But also, to be fair, I've been to owl sanctuaries and they flap in everywhere. I mean, it's enough to...
they're predators.
You know.
I didn't know which owl they were going to put me with.
Right.
Some little owl, that's fine, any trouble. But you've had a great big one like a mini post box.
Who was it who asked you for a photo?
I think it might have been the manager of the owl sanctuary.
He wanted a photograph with TV's David Mitchell.
Yes. When I was initially asked, you sort of think, oh, I should say yes, and then... But, I don't know. It's not like I want to hold an owl. I'm sure it would probably be fine, but it'd be a bit stressful.
What were you worried about?
But, I thought they'll give you a big glove, and I never liked it in science at school.
You were worried about putting the glove on?
No, I wasn't worried about that. I'm trying to explain, but this is like a 4-clause explanation, so...
How many claws did it have?
Then they've gone off. They're not really, do I now have to sort of go to the reception desk and ask for the photograph? To sort of go, is this what I said I'd get a photo... So, shall we do that? And then it might look like I'm sort of desperate to... Seeing as I'm here, will you please take a special photo of me?
I'll tell you what sounds like a lovely, relaxing day out with you.
So did you have to say to Victoria, I'd be happier if we left? Or did you just say, we're going? How did you approach that?
I think I did it in more of a vague, pathetic way.
Let's go, we're going. Let's go to the car.
Oh, I don't like that impression of you.
Let's go, I want to flee the scene.
David, I'm so sorry.
She absolutely hates you.
Exactly, I know, Lee. Just when I'm getting a bit of a handle on my own self-loathing, then this happens. These guys have been trying to build up my confidence for weeks.
4 years.
This is the first episode I've spoken in.
Right, let's have the voice of reason. Johnny, what do you think?
I don't think it's true. I think you're too well-mannered.
I think it's true because I think David is a duplicitous person.
All right. What are you going to say, Lee? You've got a truth and a lie.
I can see David doing this. They were probably on the edge of bankruptcy, and they said, what we need is a celebrity to walk through the door. Then the music started, and you walked in, and they went, the owl sanctuary is saved. If you can have a photo, and we can put it on the website, things will change for us. But no, you fled, and all those owls were put down.
No, you...
I've got to go with a sensible one and say, true.
You're going to say that it's true. David, was it true, or was it a lie?
It was true.
My husband and I have agreed that the hour between 7 and 8 p.m. is the only time we're allowed to gripe about our various aches and pains. We call this hour the Moan Zone.
David's team.
Between 7 and 8 p.m.
Yes.
Is that the time you find the aches and pains are most noticeable?
No, it's because it's when the One show's on.
What specific aches and pains, Joe? Because I will say you've been rather sprightly this evening.
Don't be patronising, Rob.
You did say that like you were playing Monopoly with your grandmother.
So, what are the aches and pains, Joe?
Well, I've got a bad knee.
I've got a bad knee, actually, as well.
Have you?
Yeah.
What's the cause of your bad knee,
I don't... life, you know.
Oh, life, okay.
The inferior design technique of the creator, should there be one. Anyway, this isn't about me.
Joe, what happens if you moan outside of those hours? Like, do you have, like, a moan jar where you...
No, the other one can say anything they like to the other one to shut them up.
Oh.
Including the C word. Coco.
In the hour, is it you first, 7 till 7:30, your aches and pains, and then his at 7:30 to 8, or do you alternate? I'll see your knee, I raise you, a coccyx.
This is what David's like when he's chatting up women.
Well, it's not that formal, really.
Is this ringing any bells with you, Lee? I mean, in your household?
I would like to get to that age where you can do the chur where you press the button and it helps you up. Oh, that's nice. Then, you know what I mean?
I tell you what, this is going to steal all those younger viewers back from Netflix, isn't it?
How old are you, Bobby?
I'm a prime number. One more than a square number, but it's a prime number.
Oh, in that case, you are... Wait, I've got this. You are 36.
Yes.
Oh, you are a prime number?
I am a prime number, yeah.
37.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean...
10 points Gryffindor.
Thank you. Joe can't believe that Lee has got the applause when she said 37 6 times. 37.
We get clever students, we know they've got it correct. Like, in Parents' Evening, I would say Joe's doing really well, but sometimes students like Lee, we've got to encourage them in the lesson.
Oh, I like you, Bobby. All right, so what do we think? Joe, what are you thinking about this?
Well, it sounds true to me. I mean, I think it's a bit weird that we wouldn't believe other people.
Yeah.
Right, we may be having a bit of a problem here this evening.
OK.
Sam, what about you?
I quite like it. It's very constructive. I think it could be true.
I think we're going to go with true.
You're saying true. OK, Joe, was it true or was it a lie?
It is... a lie.
My dad once broke my leg during a particularly vigorous bout of gargalesis.
Lee, I can guess your first question.
So, what does the word dad mean? So, go on, what is gargalesis?
Gargalesis is very heavy tickling. Did you call it roughhousing? We used to call it roughhousing, as well as gargalesis, obviously.
You call it roughhousing?
Yeah.
That's like where I used to live.
Talk us through the incident, then. How did it happen?
Well, I don't like tickling at all.
Well, you wouldn't now, would you?
Or the light kind, which is called kinesmesis.
It's called what?
Kinesmesis.
Did you just say the same word backwards? You did that weird thing with kinesmesis.
Anyway, gargalesis is the really heavy kind.
Are you... Sorry, did your family make these words up for fun, or are these actual words in the dictionary?
These are actual words, yeah.
Oh, OK.
In the dictionary.
So, there he was.
Your
dad was tickling you where?
On the landing.
How old were you, Susie?
I was 7.
7 years of
7
age.
years. And how old was your dad at this time?
My dad would have been... Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you forgot you do the words, not the maths, don't you? Do you want to phone Rachel and get back to me?
And so I, just because I absolutely hate tickling, was desperate to get away and went to move off, and in doing so kind of left my leg behind.
Which leg was it, Susie?
It was my left leg, and it's still ever so slightly crooked.
Is it?
Yeah.
You were tapping your right leg before. Yes, it was. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I mean, you do legs left and right. It just, you know.
So what do you think, Lee? Is that the truth?
This is what might have happened. They might have given her a card with a word on, knowing she's a wordsmith. Yeah. And then she's gone, right, I better give a meaning to this word quickly. Yeah. I'll say tickling.
Well, I'll tell you what. Because Susie was coming on the show, we have got a dictionary.
Ah.
So...
And is this cheating? Are we allowed to do this?
I'm allowed to do whatever I want. Susie, would you spell it for me? It's the wrong way up. Would you spell it for me, please?
Good job you put those glasses on.
I'll never forget the day. There. How would you spell it?
G-A...
Right, give me a minute.
R-G...
G-A-R-G...
A-L...
G-A-R-A-L.
G-A-R-G-A-L.
I've got G-A... What? Would you... Let me say I've got GAR
OK.
and then... Right.
Oh, my God, it's like trying to get my dad to write an email.
No, it's not. It's seriously not in here. GAR, it goes from garfish to gargani, which is a small duck.
Oh, yeah. OK, so we've got a problem here, haven't we? Because we found out that the word doesn't exist.
You said GAR, GAL.
It's a small dictionary.
It's not a small dictionary, it's huge. So, what's it going to be?
I'm totally confused on this one.
I'm a lie now, I think.
You're a lie now?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, based on the wrong leg, this strange word, two strange words. Not for me.
So we say lie.
For me, Lee, yeah.
So lie?
For me.
Lie?
Lie.
We're going lie.
What's a lie? Susie, truth or lie?
It is, in fact...
Yeah.
I once hid a girl in my bed whilst my entire family came into the bedroom to have a conversation with me.
Right, Lee.
Now, how old were you?
I was 18.
You'd had a lovely tender time with this young lady. The next morning arrived, the start of a whole new dawn, and she was secreted, hidden, under the duvet.
My dad comes in, and I say, "Get under there."
Under there.
What did your dad say? No, do not.
I don't want to have an awkward moment with my dad introducing him to this girl, so I said, why don't you just hide under there?
Was she a very thin girl? Because I would have thought you would have seen a body under a duvet.
Yeah. You see, you don't understand the kind of toggage that I'm rocking back at home. It's a very thick duvet. Plenty of...
Was it winter?
Duvet to
Jack?
hide. It was winter.
But there's nothing worse than a heavy tog in the summer.
Oh, I hate it. But I have two duvets within the thing, and then I take one out.
So do I. I take one away for the summer.
Yeah.
Stick it back on for the winter. It's a lovely way of doing it.
So good.
Unsure.
God, is it always this boring, this show? Right. I'm just going to cut to the chase here. You two, watch him very carefully while I ask this question. What was her name?
Yeah, well, that's no proof. I can't say on TV.
Why? Oh, very good.
I want to protect her modesty.
But do your whole
as I
family
did
come
on
into
that
your
morning.
bedroom often?
Oh, nice.
Do
Yeah,
they
my
just
dad
go,
always.
morning?
My dad
All
will
of
always
you,
come
yeah.
into my room,
Yeah.
and he always brings in the Telegraph and reads to me little extracts that he's found.
And then your mum's behind him, and then your brother and sister
And then
can we listen?
What happened this one morning was that my dad had received a round robin, so he came in to read me this letter. I said hide under the duvet. Then my mum came in with a cup of tea, and my dad was reading this letter, so he was like, "Oh, Molly, Barnaby, why don't you come in as well?"
Sounds like a rough family.
So they were all round the bed, and she was sort of hidden under there. It was quite a long letter as well, so I had to keep sort of giving her a bit of air. And then
You're doing that,
yeah.
Is it a single bed or a double bed?
It's one of these ones that's like a small double bed.
Well, they're called single beds.
It was, it wasn't...
Is this the first time that had happened? Had you never been in that situation before? Or?
I'd brought a girl back before, but I'd been very careful to sort of sneak her out in the morning. I'd, like, distracted my dad, and then you just go.
That was the plan? The plan was you were going to sneak her out without anyone noticing?
Through the laundry chute?
I didn't know what a laundry chute is. The butler normally just takes it from the room. No, but I was planning on sort of sneaking out and not having to deal with this situation. Yeah. And at the end, she was under there for too long. I had to let her out. Not let her out. That sounded like she wanted to be there initially.
The only way you can conceal someone lying under a duvet is to lie on top of them in exactly the same body shape that they are.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, I was sort of, sort of over her.
What the hell is it?
No, I just so I could, I had a bit of my body on her.
I don't like humans touching me.
All right, so what do you think, Lee?
OK, I think... Well, sorry, Jim.
True, I think.
You think it's true?
I'm borderline true, yeah, true.
Borderline true. Go on, then. We'll go with true.
You're going to say true? OK. Jack Whitehall, were you telling the truth, or were you telling a lie?
It is a true.
Scandalous.
Wow.
I lied to my husband that I was good at tennis and had to have secret lessons when he arranged a doubles match.
Oh, all right, there we are. Lee?
Why would you lie to your husband about
Because he wasn't my husband at the time, and I was trying to...
Woo him?
Woo him. He's very sporty, so I told him I could ski. Never been
And has he subsequently asked you to go skiing?
He took me skiing.
Did you have to learn to ski?
It was truly terrible. Well, somebody called Just actually taught me how to ski.
Just?
I can recommend Just. Skiing. Yes, so, no, I went and booked some lessons.
And what was he called, the instructor?
God, I can't remember.
And yet, Just, like that.
Yeah, but Just was like...
Keeley, keep it together, it's falling apart.
Yeah, no, I can't remember.
What was the first thing you learnt on the tennis court?
How to bounce the ball.
And how do you bounce the ball? That was a quick bounce.
What do you mean? Well, it's only that big and it's only there to there.
Well, I think you tell her gravity would have taken a bit longer to get down and all, wouldn't it? Well, you're playing on the moon.
It's not just gravity, you can give a bit of force.
You can impart an impulse to it, yeah.
That's it, impart an
The rate of change of momentum is proportional.
Don't push it. Did you win?
Well, I got there and I feigned an ankle problem.
What
because I saw when I got there how good they were going to be.
So
it was to impress him. I didn't think he'd start involving other people.
Is he a man for involving other people in general?
Right, we're not at a physicist's convention now. We'll keep this clean, please.
Yeah.
Now, listen here. Did your husband ever find out about these secret lessons?
I told him.
You came clean?
I came clean on the night that I made him dinner, pretended that I'd cooked it, and then he...
Your whole life is a fabrication, isn't it?
I sent it to him in the dark, and then he found the Tesco Express box.
Oh, no.
And then it all came out.
Did it?
I said, I can't play tennis, and I can't cook.
My name's not Jeff.
So what are you going to say, Lee? Truth or lie?
True or lie?
I think it's true. I
believe
that.
What do we think?
True.
I'll have to go with the team then. I'll say that.
So you're saying it's true? Oh, all right. Keeley, truth or lie?
It's absolutely true.
Well done, Simm. I was doubting that one.
Before being allowed out to play... Very good. Before being allowed out to play, my mum used to write my address on my forehead in a felt-tip pen.
What age were you?
Sort of 6, 7, 8.
So how many lines of the address, or was it just a postcode?
She wrote the house number.
Yeah.
And the name of the street.
Did any other mums in your street do the same thing, or were you the only...
I had not returned home on a number of occasions and not found the house. She said, if you do this again, I'm going to write the name of the house on your forehead.
I think the idea was that a neighbour or a kindly person would see it and say, come here, little fella.
Yeah.
I'll take you home.
What a foolproof scheme.
Some kindly fella with a big black hat and a net. Lollipops, lollipops.
She had a cruel side to her.
So how many times did you, as it were, disappeared, and for how long?
Well, there's sort of 3 in a row.
And how many times in a row?
3.
Did you go away from your street and you couldn't remember where your street was, or could you not remember which house was yours?
It was a house.
You couldn't remember which house was yours?
The key was the house, because they were like span houses, and they all looked the same.
Right.
They all had pampas grass outside.
And you're wandering around on your own.
It's a swingers joke.
And... yeah, I've still got your keys, by the way. And you're wandering...
I've still got your wife.
I was wandering lonely as a cloud.
At 6 years old?
Yeah, 6, 7, 8.
And so how many times was the address felt tipped onto you?
I told you that, 3.
No, you told me that it was 3 occasions that you'd got lost, which led to the felt tipping policy. Now,
yeah,
this,
I remember
is what I call an inconsistency.
What do you do with your kids, Lee? Because you've got a young family. How do you keep track of them?
Well, I write on their head, but I put the wrong address on.
Kiri, do you think he's telling the truth?
I do, because his demeanour's changed and he's like a little boy who's been told off.
He's adorable, isn't he?
He is. He's an actor as well.
We think it's true, do we?
I think there was one thing that Simon said that made me think it was true, and that was, you said, like, your mum was a bit spiteful or something like that. You thought that's one of the reasons why she did.
She's going to enjoy this when she watches it.
Yeah, it's a sort of... It is a shaming thing,
Yeah,
isn't
it is, absolutely.
This idiot doesn't know where he lives. It's sort of,
What do you think, now that Jeremy Kyle's gone, we've got a new show to replace him.
So you're going to say it's...
We're going to say it's true.
OK, you're saying it's true. Simon, was it true
that my mother used to write my address on my forehead when I was 6 or 7 was a lie?
For the last 6 months, I've been secretly liaising with David's wife behind his back.
I mean, I'm interested to know what that means.
What was the reason? To make communication with her. We've been emailing backwards and forwards. And...
Look at David's face. He looks genuinely concerned.
Why did you email her? Email her is very, like, formal.
She wouldn't answer my calls.
Oh.
I remember that period you were parked outside for a few days.
This is Victoria Corrin Mitchell, just in case people...
Is it?
...don't know.
I've been emailing the wrong person, I've got to
go. So why have you been communicating
Well,
with her?
I asked her a question. And...
What was the question that you asked?
The question I asked
what was, interestingly, her answer?
OK, well, her actual answer was, oh, come on, give me a chance.
OK.
The question was, it was a series of numbers with a question mark.
Is this a quiz question?
Yes.
Right. So you've sent her a quiz question.
Let's say that.
So all this is, everyone, and there's no need to think about anything else.
Yes.
It's just a question for the sequences round of Only Connect.
Let's go with that.
Did she ask you for a question, or did you just give it to her?
I slightly forced myself into the situation by texting her, but we...
Wait, texted her or emailed her?
There was a bit of everything. We even met up face to face. It was a very awkward laugh, David. We had a little secret conversation at your house.
Where was David at the time?
He was upstairs playing Trivial Pursuits with my wife. Well, that's what she called it. And I said, can you do me a favour? Can you not tell David what's going on? And she said, OK, absolutely, no problems at all. And I said, and also, don't tell him about this question thing either. Because I could use it for Would I Lie to You?
Right. Yes. So what do you think?
I feel like, David, you should probably answer this more than either of us, because you know Victoria quite well, I hope.
Well, I thought I did. People do pitch questions for Only Connect quite a bit. I think we're going to say true.
You're saying true? Well, Lee, truth or lie?
It is true.
Yes!
It's true.
I once stripped naked, then accidentally climbed into bed with my father-in-law.
Lucy,
were you drunk?
Yes.
Was it his bed, or was it a spare bed in your house?
It was our bedroom in our house, and they'd been babysitting. And so I noticed another presence in the bed, which I assumed to be my wife.
Yeah?
And
so lovely thing to say about your wife.
Well, sorry, love, it's just that you look like, you know, your dad. It was dark. It was dark. She'd gone to bed before me, and she said, watching telly, you know...
What were you watching, just out of interest?
I can't remember that.
What time was it?
4 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock in the morning, probably repeats of this on Dave.
So this is your bed. Where were you then? Were on sofas downstairs?
No, we were in the spare room.
So oh, that's lovely. You've given up your superior bed.
Yes.
For the in-laws.
Yeah.
Lee, what do you do when your in-laws come round?
I make up a really lovely, lovely bed with lovely silk sheets and a lovely thing and put that in the shed.
So you've come into bed. You think that your wife, she's gone ahead of you.
I thought it should be spark out.
Spark out in the bed.
Yeah, yeah. And I've often done this journey in the dark. So she's often in bed before me.
Yes.
And I know what to do. I can do it in the dark. Take the clothes off, round the side of the bed, leap in, give her a snuggle.
Oh, did you give her a snuggle?
I went to give her a snuggle.
Oh, no, naked?
Naked. Which way was he facing? Thank God he was the other way. I spooned him. You spooned him?
Like that makes it better. I think it's worse.
I think you'd have to have done it both ways to know which was worse.
That's true.
Were you spooning in the way you spoon when you want to have a cuddle as you go to sleep? Or were you spooning in a way which was hoping to just nudge her awake?
Luckily...
There's a subtle difference between those two.
I know there's a subtle difference. But luckily I wasn't quite that excited yet. No. Oh, my word. It's quick, though. I mean, honestly, I whip it back, the thing. I jump in, I go for the spoon, and as I'm sort of approaching the body in the bed, I hear John, and I literally flew out of bed, and then the lamp went on, and I'm trying to put my underpants back on.
Oh, you're completely naked?
Yeah. Oh, the whole thing, I'm trying to get my twisted, fell over. It was like a comic. It was ridiculous.
Why would you go to the effort of trying to put your underpants on in front of them?
Because I was naked.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't do it in front of them. This is right.
Just grab them and leave.
That's the sort of strategic decision you make when you're used to doing that. First time, you can very easily think, I both want to leave and dress myself, and make the mistake of trying to do the two things at once.
Yeah.
And what happened in terms of the father-in-law?
He was very, very lovely about it, and he went, one too many last night? And I went, yeah. And that was it.
What are you thinking? Is it striking you as true?
That's definitely possible. I believe he has issues with alcohol.
I'm going true.
You're saying true?
Yeah, I'm.
OK. I will go with my team and blame them.
And say it's true. OK. John, were you telling us the truth, or were you telling us a lie?
It is, in fact, sadly, true.
Oh.
During lockdown, I cut my son's hair so badly I gave him £20 to tell his dad he'd done it himself.
David's team.
So what went wrong with the styling?
I am really bad with cutting my son's hair. I've tried a few times with different kids, and...
All your own, though?
Yeah.
What was the look you were going for?
Just to make it shorter, just a trim.
And if you had to pick between, say, mine and Rob's and Lee's, what would have been the dream style?
Yeah. You're looking like a woman who needs more options.
Oh, no, yeah, I was thinking none of you really have the same hair as Ray. It's almost like quite surfer dude at the moment, and I just tried to give it so that he could just see again.
Surfer dude? So David?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
How did your husband, their dad, react?
So he guessed pretty quickly, but I think Richard mainly found it funny, luckily.
Oh, OK. Yeah. That's lucky, because it's pretty awful.
What, the bribery bit?
Well, all of it, actually.
I mean, you imagine that, taking money for lying. Who among us do that?
So what's it going to be?
I think true, because as someone who uses bribery regularly in parenting, I would say that's completely plausible.
I can completely believe the story. I just think you've priced yourself wrong. It's too much. Well, you've got to be thinking chocolate. That's the thing. Because the thing about chocolate is that children really like it, but it's incredibly inexpensive. My parents brought me up to believe that a chocolate digestive cost about £75.
All right, so what's it going to be?
I think it's a lie. I don't
it's a
think she
lie?
would do that.
It's true. I think we're going to go lie.
Sophie, truth or lie?
Luckily, I was lying.
So, please welcome this week's special guest, Pauline. So, Richard, what is Pauline to you?
This is Pauline. Last year we met at a Snoop Dogg gig and we bonded because we were the two oldest fans in the room.
David, how do you know Pauline?
This is Pauline. When I was a cub, she was the Arcala, and she had to take me out of the scout hut once for asking too many questions when we were being given a talk by the police.
And finally, Greg, your relationship with Pauline?
This is Pauline. She's my mum. She once drove past me when I was having my first fight and got out of her car to cheer me on.
Lee's team, where do you start?
Greg, how old were you on this first fight?
12.
Right. And so where was this, at school?
No.
Where was it?
Outside...
Outside the music room?
It was in a street.
In the street?
Yeah.
Who were you fighting?
I honestly can't remember his name. He was a lad, and he was in the year above me. And I remember he had fairly distinctive red hair.
Is that why you fought him?
I fought him because he'd fought one of my friends.
Oh, OK, so this was like a... You were like doing a heroic gesture.
Yeah.
And he was older than you?
Yes.
What was your friend called?
Well, I'm from Shropshire, so he was called Chinese Dave.
Is everyone called Chinese Dave in Shropshire?
No, I just think he was called Chinese Dave, and I honestly don't know the reason, because he certainly wasn't Chinese. I think it's because he used to wear a hat.
No, that would be it. That would be it.
That'll be it, probably.
What was your fighting technique, do you recall?
It was a sort of windmill of bones. Just like this.
Windmill of bones? I give you the windmill of bones!
What was your mum shouting at you by way of encouragement?
I mean, as I recall, it was just get in there.
Do him, yeah.
Get in there, son, is what I...
And was she there the first time you had sex?
This was in the street. Your mum was driving.
Yeah.
Past you. Saw you.
She knew about the attack on Chinese...
Dave,
yeah. Who wears a hat.
So I presume she saw what was going on and thought, oh, it's good that my son is avenging Chinese Dave's...
So, did she get out of the car or just do it from the window? Was it a drive-by?
She got out.
Who didn't win the fight? Did your mum then... Surely she stepped in and stopped her, or did she say, keep fighting?
Well, let me tell you, Patsy, the fight came to a fairly abrupt end.
Why?
And I'm going to give you some very specific detail now.
Thank you.
Because I was chewing polos during the fight.
Please, no, you're not going to try and convince us that they came out and your mum thought it was teeth.
Hear me out. I got caught in their mouth, and literally I spat polos everywhere. And my mum went, oh no, it's teeth! It's teeth!
What's your mum called?
Pauline.
Has she got a nickname, like Heckling Pauline or anything?
No, although I would tell you she has an impressive history, because she was in a play fight with my dad once, and he locked himself in a toilet, and to get to him in the play fight, my mum punched a hole through a door. So there's obviously a violent streak in this one. It is true, though. It's definitely true. That is my mum.
Who's next? Who are you going to do next?
OK, so we'll go with David, shall we?
Yes.
David, just let me recap. Am I right in saying that there was a talk by the police at the Cubs?
Yeah.
And you asked one too many questions to the policeman?
Yes, I was full of questions.
What kind of questions were you asking?
Well, I was asking about various, issues involved in fighting crime.
How old were you?
I think I was about 8.
Right. What kind of crime-fighting questions were you asking?
Well, there was a problem, I felt. There was a problem with vandalism and graffiti in the area.
At that age, you're supposed to be taking part rather than complaining about it. That's OK. Different upbringings, that's fine. What are the questions?
I asked a lot about the locks in Cagney and Lacey. I was, at the time, very aware of the security measures in all of those flats in New York and the big locks on the doors. And I said, why don't we have locks like that? And how can we keep burglars out if we don't have locks like that?
Right.
And the policeman was saying how you can't keep out a determined burglar. And I was saying, well, why do we lock the doors at all, then? But I wasn't really aware that he was supposed to be trying to get on with the talk, and the questions would happen at the end, and maybe they wouldn't all be asked by me.
Where was this Cubs?
It was in Headington.
Headington?
Where I grew up.
Well, I know that. I don't think you travelled.
Yeah.
I assumed it was where you lived, otherwise that would be bonkers. Where are you from? I'm from Newcastle, but I didn't travel.
My parents had heard about a very good Cub Scout group about 400 miles away, and they thought about driving me there to get the very best training in tying. Absolutely. But
what badges did you get, David?
Don't talk about badges in front of Richard. Richard, remind us once again of your truth.
Pauline and I met at a Snoop Dogg gig.
Where was he playing?
It was at the Forum in Kentish Town.
When was this? What year?
Last year.
Last year.
So he was called Snoop Dogg because he's been called a lot of things,
Well,
hasn't
he certainly has. In the olden days, he was Snoop Doggy Dog, but now just Snoop Dogg.
But whereabouts were you in the forum? Whereabouts were you watching the show from?
Well, we met when there was a delay, as there often is at rap concerts. There's sort of an hour delay, so I went up to the little bar.
Why is there a delay?
Well, because it's Snoop. You don't rush Snoop.
Who supported him? Did he have a support act?
Yeah, Corrupt.
What was
with a K.
With a K, wow.
With a K.
I'd have left after then.
What was his hair like, Snoop's? How was he wearing his hair?
He was wearing his hair, he had sort of cornrows, essentially.
He knows all the words, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's definitely read up on this.
Yeah. So you guys, your eyes met across the...
No, in this delay, I went up to... There's a little quieter bar upstairs, and I went up there to play a bit of Scrabble on my phone.
Oh, come on.
Because I was with younger people, and they were enjoying the support act. They were enjoying the fact that there was a delay and there was loud music playing. I was enjoying it less.
Yeah.
Pauline was reading a book.
Right.
So I thought, OK, she's quite bored as well of this thing. So, anyway, I'm playing my thing. She said, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I said, I'm playing Scrabble on my phone. She said, I didn't know you could play Scrabble on a phone. Right. So I showed her, and then we started playing Scrabble on a phone, have done ever since. And then...
Ever since? Well, you're going out with each other now.
You know what, Lee? Early days.
Have you actually met up with Maureen since?
Pauline.
You're not going to be able to dissect us with those blunt little...
So, Lee, where's this leading you? What are you thinking, Lee?
Patsy, do we believe any of these people? Because they're all sounding chronically untrue.
The Chronic, of course, was one of the first albums Snoop was on. Dr.
Why
Dre's
did
The
you...
Chronic.
I could see David in his cub shorts and being worried about the graffiti. He sort of the sort of person that it would have upset him. And
I'm intrigued by this like physical resemblance between Greg and the lady.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Do you mind standing up, Greg? Again, would you stand next to this lady you claim to be your mother?
Next to my mum?
Well, let's call her a woman for now. Right. Now... I'm guessing, for this mean average to work out, your dad is the Jolly Green Giant.
No, but you see, Lee, it's a fact that a son has to be taller than their mum.
it's either Richard or Greg, I think. So that's my answer.
So you think it's...
I think it's Richard.
You think it's Richard? You think it's Richard or Greg?
Yeah.
Don't
Tim
forget
say Richard.
What are you going to
the
say?
Scout hat one. The
sorry. Sorry. Are you still here?
The Scout hat.
OK, I need an answer, and I really do need it now.
We're going for David. He's trying to double bluff me at the end, so I'm going to go with
saying
David.
It's David.
And if it is David, I'll be so happy now.
You're saying it's David?
I think it's David.
OK, Pauline, would you please reveal your true identity?
My name is Pauline. I am Greg's mother. And...
Yes, Pauline is Greg's mum, and she did cheer him on when he had his first ever fight. It must have been awful to see him fighting.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Pauline.
You're welcome.
This is Andrew, and I made him keep hold of a celebrity's loo seat for 8 years on the off chance they came on this show.
Which celebrity?
It was Beyoncé. Sorry, not Beyoncé, the other one. Mark Lawrenson.
He's a commentator, isn't
he? He used to play for Liverpool, and he was a pundit for Match of the Day about 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah. So how did Mark Lawrenson get hold of Andrew's loo seat?
No.
Andrew get hold of Mark Lawrenson?
Yeah, good question.
Well, it came free as an extra bonus with the other thing that he bought off Mark Lawrenson.
A house.
Correct.
OK, so Andrew bought Mark Lawrenson's house.
I know. He said he's doing his renovation. He said, I'm getting rid of this. It's just as a jovial thing to say.
He was holding
this is Mark Lawrence's loo seat and get rid of it.
He was holding the loo seat.
He was miming it, I think, at the time.
He was miming it.
He was miming it.
He mimed the loo seat. When he talked to you about his house renovations, he said, I'm getting rid of Mark Lawrenson's loo seat, and he did a little mime.
To be fair, It might be that was my interpretation of what happened at the time.
OK.
Yes. But then you said, hold on to it, because I might see him and give it back.
No. What were we 8 years ago? Series 10? You know, on this show, if anything happens, you grab it with both hands.
Yes. Yeah.
So, if he comes on this show, I can say, this is Mark Lawrence's Lucy as a possession.
But then he'll come on the show and then you'll just go, oh, this is your Lucy.
And what would he say?
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean, oh, yeah? Are you telling me if I got a Lucy now, you'd recognise it as yours?
It depends. Is it distinctive in any way?
Nothing at all, apart from the red and the LFC and the this is Mark Lawrence's Lucy. Nothing.
How do you know Andrew?
He's a relative.
OK. Well, can you be more specific?
Yeah, he's my great-grandmother. He is my cousin.
What year was this that he bought Mark Lawrence's house?
Oh, I'm going to say 10 years ago.
You said 8 before.
No, I didn't. I said he's been hanging on to the loo seat for 8 years. He didn't do the renovation for the first 2 years.
But he would have had it for the 2 years.
If this is true, will we get to see the loo seat?
I don't do the admin. The loo seat...
I'm just at it...
Yes. If that's what you want to hear, David, yes.
All right. Andrew, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Andrew, and Lee made me keep hold of it.
Yes, Andrew is Lee's seat steward, and what's more...
Oh, hello.
This is my orchidometer. It was a present from my sister.
What does an orchidometer do?
Yeah, that's true.
I'll tell you what, I've seen one of those and it wasn't called an orchidometer. Admittedly, I haven't seen the whole length of it before.
What's an orchidometer, Mackenzie?
It is a piece of medical apparatus used for determining the size of testicles in male humans.
Yeah. Why do you need to know the size of male testicles in humans? I'm 42, nobody's ever gone, hey, extra large.
I don't. This was bought for me by my sister.
Wait a minute. What? Some of them are so small. They're tiny.
You'd be surprised.
My sister bought this for me for nostalgic reasons.
Nostalgic?
Yeah. To remind me...
Hang on, if this is to remind you both of the good old days, we don't want to...
Surely, nostalgia. In my sister, when I was growing up, you know, as my size bit, she would do a little pencil mark on the kitchen wall, fair enough, but...
For your testicles?
You know how when someone gives you a jumper, they say, oh, try it on now?
Which one are you? You must have done it.
I've never done it.
You liar!
I've never done it. Why would I want to
I'll tell you why, because the second we get out of the studio, I'm doing it, so I know. I want to do it now in front of the audience.
Well, do you know what? I think we'd all be very happy for you to do it now.
Let's do it. Oh, no. Have you watched it?
I haven't been anywhere near any.
Well, don't bring it to me. I don't want to...
Hey, Rob, bring back memories. Right, I will do it, but I'll do it under the desk.
Are you not going to get your...
Come on. One, just one then. Meet me halfway.
Come on then.
Come on then, no. This is a real medical thing.
Yeah.
Why did you get it?
Because when I was younger, I was a very slight chap, not the
When you were younger, you were slight?
specimen of man.
Blimey, what were you, a stick man?
And I used to have to go to a hospital to be measured in all sorts of creative ways.
Keep it light.
One of the ways they measured me was using an orchidometer. And,
they measured your testicles with it?
Yeah, not with that one.
What are you going to say?
With your testicle measuring device, you spoilers ambassador.
The question is whether his sister got it for him, and not what this is.
His sister got it for him.
He's telling the truth. Can you not? Am I?
But this can't be real.
Take those.
This can't be real.
Have a look at him through those. Tell him your sister gave you that as a present.
Have you got truth glasses? They're not allowed on this show.
Lee, it is time to take a guess.
Imagine going to the doctors and going, is that normal to have that many? Take a look at this, Doc. Tell me that's normal. They're purple, and it's the wrong amount. OK, what do you think? I'm going to go with it. OK, then. Well, why not? It sounds true.
Saying true. OK, Mackenzie, what's the answer?
It is true.
As a child, at my grandparents' house, I had a little bell that I would ring if I wanted anything.
Lee,
why did you have a bell?
Well, there was a bell. It was a pre-existent bell. There was a bell in the house, and I liked it.
Only at the grandparents' house?
Yes.
Not at home?
Because your parents didn't play that shit.
Yeah.
At home, you just sort of went... how old were you?
About 6.
What were the things you wanted when you rang the bell?
More chips. A glass of orange squash. Sense of purpose in life.
Was it both grandmother and grandfather that would come and wait on you hand and foot, or was it just one or the other?
I was a small child. I was indulged to a certain extent, but then also to a certain extent there was... Can you actually just stop ringing your bell now? OK.
So, Lee's team, what do you think?
The parents could easily have had a bell, and the little brat could have just...
I liked the bell. I liked ringing the bell.
He liked ringing the bell. Is it true or is it a lie?
Reginald, delicious hunter.
Well, sausage roll, I believe that there's a simplicity to the story that rings true.
I'll go with that.
Go on, then. We'll say that that's true.
You're saying it's true. David, is it true or is it a lie?
Well, it is, in fact, true.
I once accidentally made my nan eat something she shouldn't have.
Ooh. Made your nan eat something... What was that thing?
It was a toenail.
Ouch! True. Let's just move on.
I need to ask a question. Is your nan still alive?
She is.
Yeah.
Or you sounded rather regretful there, Lenny. Are you keen to get rid of the old bat?
Yeah, he's just making... It is June we're recording this, and this is going out at Christmas. He's just hedging his bets.
Yeah. Can we just do different takes? Just say one no, she isn't, and then one she is.
Okay.
Just we have both options.
Is your nan still with us?
No.
I don't think we should do the version whilst Rusty's laughing. Is she not alive? No. Boom! Boom!
And where are we?
We are in my... I'm weird now. We're in my bedroom.
You're at home in your bedroom?
Yeah.
And what happens?
Sorry,
I thought it was very funny the way you said, where are we? You said, in my bedroom, and you changed it to, so you're
Yes,
in your bedroom?
I did.
I'm not there anymore. Carry on now.
That's absolutely right.
What happened, wasn't it? I'm not going to say the wee thing again. Why are we in your bedroom? I'm confused, man, in your bedroom again.
Get out, Rob, get out.
Just to be clear, I'm not in Lenny's bedroom, and I never have been. Have I, Lenny?
For legal reasons, no.
So, you're in your bedroom with your nan. What happened next?
Just had an operation in March on my back and sitting on my bed, and I realised my nails look a bit long on my toes. So I cut them. Basically, I had a Reese's Pieces packet. So I'd put the nail in the packet. My nan's come to visit me after my operation. Then she said, oh, I like Reese's. She picks it up. And she's got half a nail hanging out.
Merry Christmas, kids.
What What do you think, Jimmy?
Well, firstly, I think it's true, and I think also it serves her right.
Yeah.
You're meant to bring the person who's recuperating some treats.
That is rude, actually, isn't it? Thank you, Nan.
That's a point.
Yeah. Or let Lenny maybe do one where you go, thank you, Nan.
Maybe just for safety, do another one where we go, thank you, Nan, just because we don't know. We don't know.
Miss you.
Laura, what are you thinking?
You couldn't have reached your toenails if you'd had an operation on your back.
I've got little legs.
OK.
Hang on, you've also got little arms.
That's where Rob comes in.
All right, it's time to make a choice here, David.
OK. I'm trying to read your mind, as you rightly tell, so try and keep still. OK, I think it's true.
They think it's true, Lenny. Was it true, or was it a lie?
You can read minds well, it's true.
As a kid, my parents denied me chocolate, so every Easter I had to run around the garden and hunt the Easter onion.
The Easter onion, yes. David, where'd you begin?
Then were the days.
Why were you denied chocolate?
It's not good for you, is it?
And why did you hunt an onion? Why didn't you just say, I don't give a damn where that onion is. It's not a treat.
Well, you do what you're told to do, innit? As a kid.
So you would look for the onion, and you would find the onion, and you would say...
I'd say, da ist die Zwiebel.
What?
What?
Well, there is, in Germany, saying, there's the onion.
What would happen then?
Then I would hold it aloft. And...
like a World Cup. And at what point in your family's Easter celebrations would the onion hunt occur?
Well, when on Easter Sunday.
On Easter Sunday, in the morning on Easter Sunday...
I would be out in the garden.
So, but before your parents were up, you were already out there.
Henning, do you get on with your parents?
Very well, yeah.
Are they nice?
Yeah, I mean, my father is dead, but he was a really jolly fella, and, yeah, my mother is all right, yeah.
I'm glad you didn't do the speech at the funeral.
Once you track the onion down, Henning, would you tuck into it?
Yeah, you have a bite.
Raw? So,
of course.
So you're very pleased, you held the onion aloft, and then you took a bite out of it.
Yeah.
I do feel like you're more enchanted by onions than we are.
But they mean a lot to me, because I knew Easter Sunday it was time to go in the garden and hunt the Easter onion.
What are you thinking, Rachel?
I was half believing him until the biting into it.
They're quite solid, aren't they? It's like a tennis ball, isn't it?
Yeah.
The thing is, I can bite into an onion because I wasn't allowed chocolate. That means my teeth are good.
Yeah.
Would your mother and your father, when he was alive, would they share the experience?
He would occasionally bite in an onion.
You'd hold it aloft, they'd say, well done, little Henning. And they'd all... Look what Henning has done. And then... He's holding it aloft. Quick. Get the camera. And then... Would they also tuck into the onion?
It was. Just thinking of that onion makes me eyes water.
What do you think? Is that truth?
What do you think?
Well, even though he started crying at the memory, I don't... They're crocodile tears.
He does seem very moved, doesn't he?
What do you think, Alex?
I hope it's true, but I think it's
It's not.
I think it's a lie.
It's a lie. You're saying it's a lie. Henning, did the Easter Bunny bring an onion?
Sadly, it's a lie.